Mr. Burns, this is your complaint. You had purchased a car.
Yes.
You were behind in the payments.
Yes.
Mr. Kimball owns a tow truck, and it is his job on behalf of lending institutions to repossess property that has not been paid for. So your car was parked either on the street or in your house.
Yes, in front of my house.
And this was September 25th last year. Neighbor came to you in your house and said, someone's taking your car. You got outside and you saw Mr. Kimball in his tow truck down the street with your car attached.
No.
Tell me where you saw his car.
I observed Mr. Kimball at the end, like a block away on the passenger side of my car, removing items. At the same time, I was talking to the police when the neighbor had came and got me. I live in a high crime neighborhood area, and first thing she said, it's a black tow truck, and they took your car and went and rode off.
So the car was attached to the tow truck?
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Now, at the time, you knew that you were behind in payments on the car.
Actually, I had spoken with the guy who...
At the time, you were behind in payments on the car. You acknowledged
Yeah,
it.
yes, I knew I owed it something.
Right. So, an intelligent man would know that if you were behind in payments on the car, they may come and get it. Not definitely, but they may come and get it. Well, that was what he was hired for. Who hired you to do this job?
Northwest Repossession.
Do you know who hired Northwest Repossession?
The company would be Quality Auto Sales.
Did you buy your car at Quality Auto Sales?
Yes.
Well, they're the people that hired his company to get their property back. So tell me what you did.
Okay, when I observed Mr. Kimball at the end of the block, removing items, I caught him on the passenger side of my car. At the same time, I was talking to 911 because I figured my car was being stolen. I had spoke to the person who I previously bought the car from, and everything was fine.
I don't believe that, and you don't have that person here.
Okay.
Okay, because the person that you bought the car from hired his company to repossess your car.
Okay, at the same time...
So now,
No.
just tell me what you did.
Okay, I talked to the police. I asked him who was he. He never identified who he was.
Just a second. I want to know what you did. You ran to the end of the block where he was.
No, we drove to the end of the block, and I observed him.
Who drove?
My wife did.
So your wife drove in her car
Yes.
to the end of the block, and then what did you do?
I was on the phone with 911, and I told them that I see the guy
Just
right
a
there.
second. I didn't ask you what you told anybody.
Okay, I
said,
didn't do
what
anything.
did you-
I approached him and asked him who was he.
Just a second. So you approached him.
Yes.
Where was he when you approached him?
The passenger side of the car.
And what did he say to you?
He didn't say anything. He just got up and ran around to the driver's side of the tow truck. And by me living in a high crime neighborhood area, if he would have told me who he was, the situation would have been ended. He didn't identify himself or who he was or who had sent him. It's normally known in my neighborhood. I just live in Chicago. High crime area, and they known for taking cars on tow trucks and driving off. You never find your car again. I asked him who was he. He never identified himself in a professional manner. So I proceeded to talk to the police. I'm like, he right here. He tried to run around and jump in the car. When he jumped in the tow truck, he tried to close the door, and I'm like, he never identified. I'm like, who are you? I'm steady asking him, who is he? He never said anything. So I'm telling the police. Next thing I know, he put the truck in drive and almost hit me with the tow truck. So I had to grab on to the handle. It's a safety bar on the side of the tow truck. When he drove off like in a high rate of speed. So I wasn't finna let him get out of my sight because he never identified himself. I feel if he would have identified himself.
I know that you said that already. What I'm hearing is, and reading,
Yes.
that you wrote, you jumped on the sideboard.
Yes.
Okay, you jumped on the sideboard and held onto the sideboard.
Yes.
And he was driving off.
Yes.
At a high rate of speed.
Yes.
And then what happened?
He veered on the south side of the street, crashing into some parked cars with me stuck in between the doors.